welcome everybody to Shine Chats. My name is Scott Gidman and I'm a practice valuation manager for Media Estates, a very proud Henry Schein company. Today I'm joined by Mike Duddridge.
Hi there.
Mike.
Yeah,
Hi.
I'm from Montgomery Charles Wealth Management. We're independent financial advisors and we specialise, about 80% of our clients are dentists looking to sell their practice to exit from the business, and we help them pull all the money together. They get offered a number, you guys very kindly give them a valuation, which is fantastic, but then they need to know, is that the right number for them? What does that look like? What are the tax implications? What does their retirement look like? So we come and help on that side. We actually help most of our clients retire early.
Absolutely.
So something Scott and I work together a lot with, clients that are looking to sell, they're just putting their feet in the market to see what the valuations are like, what the market's like, that kind of thing. And then we do all the numbers and we sort of work through from that side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So myself and Mike, we've probably worked together now for a number of years, 7 years.
7 years, yes.
A long time, and it goes fast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Actually. On valuing practices, facilitating the sale, which is very much our side of things.
Yeah.
And then once a vendor, a principal has sold their dental practice, they're able, with this windfall of cash, of course, to be able to invest it in
so it's very key.
Different aspects.
It's a very measured approach that we take for our clients, as you well know. So we'll look at their overall situation. What kind of life do they want when they retire? Because dentistry is all consuming, as I'm sure you know as a dental practice yourself. It's a very consuming industry. So what kind of life do you want after that? What's that going to cost you? What do you have in place to provide that already? There'll be lots of income streams that you may not be aware of. So you'll have obviously the sale proceeds is a number, but there'll most likely an NHS pension, private pensions, you may have existing savings. So we'll basically analyse everything, make sure that what you have is fit for purpose still, because you probably took things out a long time ago that you've just maintained. Are they still relevant with your new change of situation that's going to come along? And just make sure everything's working exactly as it should.
Absolutely.
And one of the things our clients most value, every single person loves this, is where we do their cash flows for them. It's a very simple visual illustration of what their money would look like year in and year out, all the way up to the age of 100. So they can see at any point, is there going to be a shortfall? If there is, how do I bridge the gap? I don't really want to cut my lifestyle back, so what have I got that can provide for that? We also do, which I think is even more key than that illustration, an overall illustration of their background wealth. So over time, will they be eroding their money? Okay. In which case, is that an issue?
With expenditure?
Compared to the lifestyle they've like. Is their wealth building up, which is obviously the ideal situation. Yes. But then how do they plan to pass that through to their children or family?
So inheritance as
Inheritance tax is a huge thing.
Being efficient, as efficient with that as we possibly can be.
So there's lots of options around that people aren't always aware of. So quite often they may have someone looking at elements of their finances, but the thing that we do, which our clients love the most, is we look at everything.
Yes.
So everything's put into the pot, analysed. It's all evidence-based, so we'll analyse everything fully, show them the pros and cons of different options, show them what that looks like financially in terms of the cash flows, make sure everything aims towards their goals.
Absolutely.
So what financial goals they have, we try and make everything go to that. In some cases we can't always do that, in which case we'll do the best case scenario we can. In other cases, quite a few clients I meet, in fact probably 20% of people I meet, could have retired 3 years earlier.
Wow.
But they didn't know that because they hadn't had everything analysed.
Would you say, Mike, that on the whole practice valuations have increased in recent years?
They do appear to be, yes. Okay. So the big dilemma with that, of course, is you know, you go along and give the valuation to your clients, and they're all excited and it's a nice number and they think, well, that's fantastic. And it's probably 2 or 3 days later that the reality of
actually
this sinks in. So yes, I've got a number here, that's great, but I've got another number here, which is my income, which I have to stop to get that number. How is that going to pan out? Yes. Is this appropriate for me to take this number, or do I have to wait? What does that look like? So we'll just put it all together, and that's the beauty of it. And the fact that we are completely independent, as you know, we are fee-based. Indeed. There's no bias in terms of anything like that at all. So once we engage with a client, they've paid us for our services, everything's totally analysed.
Open, honest, transparent, and with their best needs at heart, of course.
We're not also, and I do this quite a lot with clients, I will challenge their preconceived ideas. So quite often they'll think, I'm going to do this with that, and I'm going to do that with that.
Absolutely.
That's fine, and we'll look at those options, but quite often, because we have the knowledge and the skill set back at the office with the team, we'll come up with other solutions, and we'll show the evidence, the very clear evidence as to why we're suggesting that, why it might be potentially better for that client to take a different course of action to perhaps one they'd already perhaps decided on already without having the full facts.
Wow. Yeah. I think it's fair to say, and we've talked about this a number of times, where myself, you, the teams we're involved with within both of our organisations, we're probably responsible for bringing the retirement age of a practice owner actually down. We're moving that benchmark, that preconceived, working on to 65, 60 years old, whatever that may be. Actually, we're bringing that number, that age limit down. Throughout the time, of course, we're working together, and that's often, a huge eye-opener, a huge lift, positive.
So as you well know, a lot of clients will assume they have to work to a certain age because that's when their pensions start, or there might be a trigger in their own life that's the date they've set. By having everything analysed comprehensively, we can show them other options. So quite a lot of our clients think they might have to sell now because they don't like the paperwork anymore. They like being a dentist, but they don't like all the other stuff that goes with it any longer. And they assume they have to work for another 2 or 3 or 4 years, even 5 years in some cases.
Yes, absolutely.
By having everything analysed, that then becomes an option. So yes, you could, if you wish, continue to work, and you you would enjoy that, and you'd like to do the handover to the new buyer. But actually, financially speaking, if you don't want to do that, you could actually retire when you sell. That's 99% of the cases we can show that evidence-based through. In some cases, we might say to clients, and it's quite rare nowadays with the values, actually, for the kind of life you would like, I recommend you don't sell just yet. Keep building that business up and have another look at market in a year, maybe 18 months' time, possibly 2 years.
When the time is right, when you're going to maximise this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, of course, of selling your business. That's very, very true. One of the things we often touch on, particularly, again, our team and clients, is having that specialist advice, particularly around NHS pensions, so when to look at it, when to trigger 24-hour retirement, all of that sort of thing.
Potentially a huge minefield for people. So the NHS pension is a fabulous pension, but it's also fabulously confusing. So there's probably a handful of practices in the country, advisor-wise, that know the NHS pension inside out. We are one of them. So that's why we work with the BDIA and BDA, et cetera, and yourselves, because that's our real specialist set. But it is broader than that. But if you could do anything, please make sure you use a specialist NHS pension. There's so many errors that can be made that we see that we have to try and tidy up for our clients. Particularly if you're looking to sell, if you have an NHS contract, there's lots of things you must do to progress from being a dentist to selling to retiring and then drawing your pension. It's not just a one click of a button.
It's not just one process from start to finish. There are many things we have to consider along the way.
Absolutely, yes. And a lot of our clients have an NHS pension, and they have private pensions too. So, and it might be, again, they've set them up with another advisor or another company that isn't actually independent. So that's the key thing. You must have, even if it's not us, please use someone independent to look at everything with a clear eye that can pull everything together in the right manner.
Indeed. I mean, at MediEstates, we are very big advocates, as you know, of using specialists, experts within dentistry, of course. If there's one piece of advice we would always share, it is to use that experience, someone who has been there, who has done this before.
It's very little that we see that doesn't surprise us.
Absolutely.
So I think that's the beauty of using a specialist. So we are what we are on the tin, so we know our stuff. If I don't know, someone in the office will know. There's a whole team of us there to analyse everything correctly.
Indeed.
And actually present you with the right options as a client to choose from.
And if I could just go back to selling your practice for a second, and it's become now a very common factor within a practice sale for a principal to work on post-sale, to have a role within the practice clinically moving forward, just to provide that continuity, but it also continues an income stream, of course, moving forward, post-sale. And I'm right in saying that, of course, this is something else you can build into your financial modelling for your clients.
Definitely. So one of the things, apologies for not mentioning this, we work on scenarios for clients. So quite often a client will say, well, Mike, I've got the number, I've been given the value. If I were to retire immediately, what does my financial situation look like? That's normally one scenario. The second one is, I've got the number, but I really quite like dentistry, but I don't like the managing of everything.
Absolutely,
So what is it, can you show me what it looks like? If I were to go to a 3-day week and earn approximately this for a year or two, what does that look like? Can you show me that? And the other option is, I've been offered maybe a corporate sale, and they want to tie me in for 5 years. Can you show me what that
does
look
this
like?
mean?
Show me financially, if you can, what that looks like. What options do I have? And of course, if you continue to work, you continue to have lots of options around pension opportunities and tax opportunities that can be used. So it's really good that people want those, and then we encourage that anyway, to have these scenarios to consider, because it is something you're going to need to consider.
Indeed.
People don't make snap decisions. Quite often we'll present our findings and then we'll go back again to discuss in a bit more detail, because there's a lot to take in.
Absolutely.
And most people aren't used to having the full analysis done.
Also a very huge decision. It's the most important, I often say it's the most important decision a dentist, a practice owner will make at that stage in their career, of course.
So they really need somebody that's on their side, that understands, is open to their options, but also open to challenge and present better solutions if they're out there for them.
Oh, of course.
Who has no vested interest. That's the key thing. So we are on the client side.
Good. Well, I think to summarise perhaps our conversation today, practice values are still at an all-time high. It is a very good time to look at having your business valued.
Definitely.
Still, without doubt, a seller's marketplace. But in the same token, once you've had your business valued and you've had that report with the all-important figure and number in there, that looks wonderful, hopefully. That is not the end of the road or the story, or that is the start of this journey. And we have experts within the industry. We have people who have been there, who have seen this, and are able to provide you with evidence-based advice.
I think our goal as a company, and mine as an advisor, is to meet new clients and to show them a very clear way to exit or start to exit from dentistry that's financially sound and clean, and leaves them in no doubt, there will be no doubt as to what their financial situation will look like. Good or bad, it will be highlighted to them.
You will lay it out for them.
They are then able to make an informed decision on the facts. This is the right time to go, or why didn't I do this last year? Or actually, I'll wait another year and do it then.
Absolutely.
That's the idea. So they get the full information.
I think that's a wonderful way to finish the conversation. So thank you everybody for tuning in and listening.
That was useful.
Yes, we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.